The American Shorthair cat has come a long way from the unremarkable Pied Piper to the most popular breed in the United States. Such widespread fame ceases to amaze when you get to know it better. The American Shorthair has a delightful appearance, good health and a docile nature. Cats easily make contact with people. They know when the time is right for violent games with the owner and when for peaceful snoozing nearby. Hunting instincts are not alien to animals, but this does not prevent them from remaining gentle and loving pets that every person dreams of. Get yourself this beautiful ball of wool and you will forget what a bad mood is. History of the breed American Shorthair cat. A wonderful legend is connected with the origin of the American Shorthair cats. It says that Christopher Columbus, planning to go in search of mysterious India, ordered to take cats to all ships of the flotilla. According to the famous navigator, this measure would save sailors from the need to fight rodents, which cause damage to the food taken. This is how in the 15th century the ancestors of the American short-haired cats came to the lands of the Indians. Unfortunately, this legend has not been documented, which cannot be said about the widespread version of the origin of the breed. The first cats, which may have become the progenitors of the Americans, appeared in the New World at the beginning of the 17th century with a group of English Protestants. They arrived in America on the Mayflower and founded Jamestown, the first British settlement. This is evidenced by the entries in the journals that have survived to this day since 1609. Once in a different climate, the animals were forced to adapt to new living conditions. The size of cats has increased in comparison with their European counterparts, and their coat has become more coarse and thick. Wandering days on farms and ranches, near houses and sheds, the ancestors of the American Shorthair were increasingly able to boast of good health. The settlers drew attention to this and soon began to value the stability of animals on a par with their excellent skills in exterminating rodents. Until the beginning of the 20th century, the breeding of cats proceeded in free conditions. No one cared about the exterior and purebred pedigree, did not attempt to standardize the breed. The ancestors of the Americans retained similarities with their British relatives, but differed in a more stretched and athletic physique. In addition, the animals were hardy, intelligent and fearless, which made them a valuable breeding material. Before long, US breeders realized they needed to keep the breed. This is how the breeding of American Shorthair cats began. Admirers of these amazing animals were engaged in the acquisition of bright representatives of the breed and the formation of ideal breeding pairs. This would keep the cat's remarkable appearance and docile nature. In 1904, the CFA organization registered Buster Brown, a direct descendant of the British who came to the United States with the colonists. From that moment on, American breeders developed a clear breeding program for cats. Its results became clear by 1930, when, with a relatively small number of generations, it was possible to enrich the breed with many remarkable colors. Among them was silver, a heritage from the Persians. The breeding of American Shorthair cats has played an important role in the lives of their fellow cats. With the participation of these animals, it was possible to create new breeds: Snowshoe, Bengal, Scottish Fold, Aussie Cat, Bombay Devon Rex, exotic Maine Coon, etc. In the middle of the 20th century, CFA members published the first catalog, which included about 50 representatives of the breed. At the time, she was known as the domestic Shorthair. Under the same name, animals participated in the 1966 exhibition for the first time. The victory was won by Shawnee Trademark, inheriting the title of Cat of the Year. At the same time, it was decided to rename the breed to reflect its true American character and thereby separate it from other short-haired brethren. Despite this, there were cases of registration of cats under the previous name until 1985. In 1984, the handsome Mr.H won a similar victory, and in 1996 Ol Mer Sharif. The end of the 20th century became significant for the representatives of the breed. For 2 decades, American short-haired cats have gracefully climbed to the top positions of the rating of the most popular breeds and have chosen a place in the top 10 short-hair pets in the United States. The CFA organization has about 100 registered catteries that specialize in breeding this breed. At the same time, most of them are concentrated on the territory of America. Breeders have entrusted their national heritage to a few. Official nurseries can boast of decent breeders from the USA. Despite the few litters of American Shorthairs, representatives of the breed are increasingly common. Russian breeders are working hard to ensure that these cats take an important place in the hearts of people and in the future, won as many victories as possible at specialized exhibitions. So far, these are only dreams. The European Cat Organization FIFA still does not officially recognize short-haired Americans. Representatives of this breed are found in Russia less often than, say, in Japan. Interesting facts. During the existence of American women, a lot of interesting things happened with the breed. There is a legend that American short-hair cats were present on all ships of Christopher Columbus's flotilla during the search for India. The legendary navigator believed that animals would save supplies of food from rodents in order to take them with him. And that is how the ancestors of American women came to the lands of the Indians. True, this version has no documentary confirmation and remains just a beautiful legend. The American Shorthair is the national pride of the United States. The cat is considered the same symbol of the country as apple pie or baseball. The American Shorthair has been involved in the formation of several other breeds, including the exotic Devon Rex, Snowshoe, Scottish Fold, and Bengal. The appearance of the American Shorthair cat. The animal looks rude, a kind of workhorse, but in a feline body. However, this does not detract from the grace of her movements. The breed is characterized by sexual dimorphism. Cats are much larger than cat 7 to 8 kilograms and 4 to 5 kilograms, respectively. American refers to large to medium-sized short-haired breeds. They grow slowly and reach their final proportions by the age of 4. Head and skull. The shape of the head of the American Shorthair cat is called square or rectangular. Its length and width are almost equal, with the exception of a couple of millimeters. The frontal part of the skull is slightly convex, which is noticeable when the animal is turned in profile. Muzzle. The cat's square muzzle is rather wide and short, with a certain angular shape. The cheeks are plump, especially in adults. The cheekbones are round. A clear transition is visible between the forehead and the muzzle of the animal. The nose is of medium length. The chin is well developed with strong jaws and perpendicular to the upper lip. Ears. The head of the cat is decorated with smoothly rounded ears of small size, covered with short hair. They are set wide, differ in a rather narrow base. The distance between the inner corners of the ears corresponds to the distance between the eyes, doubled. Eyes. The eyes of the American Shorthair are medium to large in size, round in shape, except for the base, which is more almond-shaped. The distance between them corresponds to the width of the eye itself. The breed standard provides for an orange iris in most colors, except for silver. These animals are characterized by green eyes. Solid white cats have blue or orange eyes. A combination of these colors is also common. Neck. The neck is proportional to the size of the animal, more medium than short, strong and muscular. Housing. In American Shorthair cats, there is a significant difference between males and females. Males are noticeably more massive than female friends. The American Shorthair cat is distinguished by a harmoniously folded body. Its outline is rounded and practically not stretched. The shoulders, chest,